Another quarantine edition of MovieShmoovie with me, your host, Trash Bag. So, in case people don't watch these chronologically, in case you don't slave over my every word, we'll do cleanup and introductions and stuff when the produced videos start coming. But until then, while we're locked down and I can't recommend new releases, I figure that I'll shoot you some recos for movies that you can watch at home while you're quarantined, while the zombies walk outside. One of those being Molly's Game. I've been seeing really big banner ads for it whenever I open Netflix, and today I got sucked into watching like a full minute of Michael Cera being an asshole in his scene. Acting well. Michael Cera not actually being like an asshole. I saw this film in theaters when it came out, I think 2 years ago. I think it was Christmas 2017. Yeah, it was Christmas 2017. Based on a true story of a book written by Molly Bloom, a woman who held illegal high-end poker rings basically for celebrities, notably with the casting of Michael Cera as Player X, who in the book is very obviously Tobey Maguire, described as a just weird Tobey Maguire, man. Just Tobey Maguire. Also notably, Aaron Sorkin's directorial debut. Aaron Sorkin, the famed, legendary screenwriter in Hollywood. A Few Good Men, The Social Network. What else has Aaron Sorkin written? A Few Good Men, The Social Network. Fucking Aaron Sorkin, what else did he write?
The West Wing.
I already said that with TV. Let me see. Aaron Sorkin, I'm just gonna go find it. The American President. All right, let's do it. All right, is it still recording? What the fuck? The American President, which I'm listing, but I've never seen that movie. Directed by Aaron Sorkin. So I went into this movie not giving it a little bit of a handicap. I went into this movie with a little bit of a chip on my shoulder. I wasn't looking to give Aaron Sorkin a ton of undue credit of like, oh, you did great for your first time. I was more going in like, you ain't no David Fincher. You know, you ain't going to direct the shit out of your own script like David Fincher directed the shit out of your script. David Fincher fucking shooting 3 or 4 cameras at a time for The Social Network, 99 plus takes of any given scenes, taking individual syllables from different takes for actors to make the most perfect kind of sonic just journey of Aaron Sorkin's immensely like dense script, but making it feel like a popcorn Hollywood easily digestible film that was fun to go see and that a lot of normal people, not movie people, that I'm friends with love. So I obviously went into this knowing that Aaron Sorkin has writing chops. You kind of go into any Aaron Sorkin project knowing it's gonna be good. It just kind of, your mileage may vary depending on how much you can put up with the, you know, machine gun dialogue. Did you like me doing that sound effect? Maybe I should just do a whole show that's sound effects. Do you hate me yet? I feel like I shouldn't make any more of these. So I sat down, saw it in a beautiful theater, and it takes a really fucking good script for you to notice the writing, because movies are such a sonic and visual medium. You really typically aren't able to separate yourself from the sensory experience enough to like critically think about what you're hearing and how it might look on a page. Aaron Sorkin's stuff is so thoroughly written and thought out, some might say overwritten, that you do have that experience and you can have that experience. And just like I thought, what I noticed up front was, oh, this seems like a first-time director who's been around the greatest talents in the industry, so he's starting off better than most first-time directors, but I can tell this is a first-time director. But this is a damn good script, and I mean, yeah, I loved it. And the frowny face negative stuff, the cons. Little things like some unmotivated or uninspired camera work alerts you to the first-time director thing, but by the same token, there's some really exciting, interesting, and fun editing in the film, especially during the poker sequences. Positive stuff, pros of the movie, the good things. I always appreciate a film that is able to make its central conceit, if its central conceit is something that's boring or not visually sexy, it's not explosions, it's not skydiving, it's not, you know, fucking Die Hard. Something like poker, or in the review I did previously for Black Hat, hacking. Something that's a pretty sedate activity, making it visually dynamic and cinematic is really a feat, and Molly's Game really did that. And it did that not in a way that I've seen before. Casino Royale keeps your attention with the poker scenes even if you don't know how to play poker. Like I don't, which I probably shouldn't admit on this fucking website. Something like Rounders, really entertaining. Molly's Game employs a lot of really cool, really fun, really energetic editing techniques and, you know, shot sizes during the poker scenes to keep you invested. That plus Jessica Chastain's awesome voiceover, which owes half the Sorkin script. And half to Jessica Chastain just being a great actress. A lot of people joke about confusing her with Bryce Dallas Howard and then basically combining to average each other out and just be nothing. But kind of similar to someone like Tom Cruise, you sit down in a movie theater and your brain just like, oh yeah, movie star, oh my God. And your brain just accepts it because she's great in the movie. It made me, a non-poker player, understand and become invested in the stakes of the story. It was over before I knew it, which is always a sign of a great movie, is if it flies by. You know, I've had that experience maybe a dozen or so times in my life, most notably with The Godfather Part 2, which after the intermission, I swear I sat in the theater for 20 minutes and then the movie was over. I didn't realize I had been there for 4 hours. Not comparing Molly's Game to the greatest sequel ever made, but what I will say is that it is a hidden gem. It was poised as an awards film in 2017 for the 2018 Oscars, but it didn't really do much. It didn't really get much traction. As it stands, it's one of those lost gem Oscar movies. A lot of times if you go on YouTube and watch Oscar ceremonies from like a random year, like 1994 or something, you'll hear all these movies and all these nominees for Best Actor and stuff. And you're like, what the fuck is that movie? When did that come out? You think you have this like, or at least I do as a cinephile, this like canonical chronology of movie history that happens. But then like I watched De Palma last night, the Brian De Palma documentary, and I'm like, oh, he made like 3 times as many movies as I thought he did. I just didn't know that. So basically, I think Molly's Game encountered a similar fate, and it deserves your attention because the only travesty of Oscar season is that movies that are maybe an 8 out of 10 instead of an 8.5 or a 9 out of 10 fall to the bottom and get lost. Movies that aren't super buzzy, movies that are just super solid, just oak pillars of a movie where everything works well, are just kind of written off as, oh, that's a great R-rated adult, movie. I mean, it made money, it got good reviews, but I don't think it attracted the acclaim that they were setting out for. They're like, shit, we're gonna have Sorkin direct his own script for the first time ever. This is gonna be big. Didn't do that, but it's definitely still worth a watch. And I think it's way more pertinent now that everyone's stuck inside and it's being so heavily advertised on Netflix. Watch Molly's Game and let me know what you think. I will reiterate that for these first couple of videos during the coronavirus meme of 2020, I'm intentionally picking kind of low consequence choices because, as I mentioned in the Black Hat video, I really can't bear the thought of doing an imperfect or an incomplete video on Drive or The Social Network or even The Room, a movie that's so bad it's good that I still have a lot of affection for. I want to cover those more in depth, probably longer, but mainly just, the higher production value, the not trash bag version.